Hi everyone, Amy here from Never Grow Up Vacations, and now it's time to come fly with Amy, or should I say train with Amy today. So that's what I'm doing. I am training up to New York City from Philadelphia. So for most of you who don't know the Northeast exactly, we have what's called the Northeast Corridor, and that can include anything from DC into Philly into New York up to Boston. It's like one big connector. So what they have is Amtrak and Acela has multiple trains that run throughout the day, almost 2-3 times an hour. So it's a really easy, accessible way to travel either north or south. I've done south multiple times, I've done north multiple times. It's super cost effective. You don't have to worry about tolls, which are expensive. You don't have to worry about traffic, which is frequent. You just sit on a nice train and you relax. So that's what I'm doing. So I am taking the train up to New York City today from 30th Street Station. For those of you who don't know what's going on, you do need to wear your face covering, which is why I have mine on. The train ride, the Acela, which I am taking today, is a little bit different than the normal Amtrak. So the normal Amtrak does take a little bit longer and it does stop a little bit more frequently. So to give you an example, if I were to take the Amtrak today, it would probably take me roughly an hour, 45 minutes or so. By taking the Acela, it's like an hour and 15. So it saves me about 15 minutes. It is considered a high-speed line. A couple more tips and tricks as you're considering taking the Amtrak. It's nice because you don't have to go through like TSA or anything like that. They do have bomb sniffing dogs. They do have people, security looking around, lots of police presence, but there is no per se go through the TSA line like there is here. There is also no check-in. You can buy your tickets here or you can pre-buy them. I typically always pre-buy them on amtrak.com. Quick, easy, most cost-effective way to do it. So when you get here, you really only have to arrive for your train at minimum 30 minutes ahead of time. Typically, they don't even let you go down to the track until about 5 minutes before it even gets here. So it's a much quicker boarding and overall process than if you were to fly via airplane. So a lot less stress. Keep in mind, if you're coming to 30th Street Station, parking can be a little bit of a bear here. A little bit expensive. For example, I'm parking in the Amtrak lot, which is right here. It was $28 for 24 hours, so obviously that's a little bit steep. There are a couple more within the area here. Drexel's also pretty close, so keep in mind you could always park over near Drexel and walk if you don't mind, or if you have limited bags. Speaking of bags, you are allowed to bring on 2 luggage bags, they're calling them, and then 2 personal items. For me, I'm just going up to New York overnight, so I just have a little roller and a little makeup bag. Done. Oh, my briefcase, of course. Always have briefcase with me. So I'm excited to bring you along on the Acela. This is my first time on the Acela, but not my first time with Amtrak. So I'm excited to kind of see the differences, a little bit more of an elevated experience. So I will be sure to bring you along, and when I get on board, we'll get back together and I will show you my seat. Here's a little bit of a closer look at Philadelphia's 30th Street Station. Keep in mind that the trains board incredibly fast. So if your train is scheduled to leave at 9:35, be sure to be there at least an hour early, or at least that's what I tend to go by. Here in Philadelphia, there are a couple of eating and dining locations to grab a quick bite before your train. Although you can buy these train tickets at the train station, I do recommend pre-booking so you know your dedicated time. I usually book about a week out. You can book them directly on amtrak.com. As I had mentioned, the trains board incredibly quickly, so you want to stay close to the area where they're going to call your track number. Let's say your train boards at 9:35 and departs at that time. They may only call your track 5 minutes prior to that, and you have to run down to the track and get on the train. They will not wait for you. They scan your tickets once you get on board, so they won't know if they're missing somebody. In the case of the Acela, there are assigned seats. It'll tell you which car number you're in and which seat you're in. You can pick this when you book your ticket. In the case of Amtrak, you typically do not have an assigned seat unless you pay for business class. The cabins are designed pretty similar to airplanes. They do have luggage storage at the beginning and end of each car. There is overhead storage, and then of course you can certainly store underneath your seat. In the case of the Acela seats, they do have an easy tray that can pull out and work as a desk or the tray. Plus, there are also feel free to drop a comment down below or reach out to me via email. Until next time, happy travels!